1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, everyone out there in guitar land, Mike Hedding here. Today I've got the old classic song, St. Anne's Reel in the key of D. This is a great old fiddle tune. It's got a really beautiful melody, and one of the things I like about this song is it kind of crosses genres. You might hear it in a bluegrass jam, you might hear it in an old-time jam, Irish jam, you know. This is one of those fiddle tunes that it can be played in a lot of different styles, which is really cool. I've got a basic A part and a basic B part, so if you're a little bit more on the beginner level, you might want to start with the basic A and B part. You could play those. And if you're feeling a little more advanced or you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can try the A part and B part variation. I'll break down all the solos note for note and then show you a bunch of backup I would do for this song. So how to play easy strumming with the chords, how to do some little bass walks and little walk downs, maybe even a little B minor chord substitution. I'll show you a bunch of stuff I would do for backup for this lesson. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, mikeheddingmusic.com, and grab the full lesson. You'll get access to watch all the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's St. Anne's Reel in the key of D. All right, so let's start breaking down this beginner version to the old classic song, St. Anne's Reel. We're in the key of D. I'm just in standard guitar tuning, and we're going to play this song without a capo. You might have played this song in the past, or you might see it in capo 2 and then playing it out of C, which also works well, but I usually like to err on the side of not using a capo when I can. I like to keep the backup chords, you know, so I'm playing the real chords and not the capo chords. So we'll break that down in the backup section, but that's one of the benefits of not playing with a capo is you don't have to convert everything to capo chords. You can just play the real chords. So let's start breaking down this basic A part. I'm going to play the first 9 measures, which is going to be halfway through the A part. Here we go. Do that a few times. One time really slow. Okay, so we're going to start with the pickup. So 2 ways you could do this. I'm going to start with my second finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and we're going to play that note, and then the open high E string. So on 4 and, so you would count 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So I'm doing a down up pick there. You'll see I've got the pick direction listed below the tab. So the staple looking symbols are the down strokes, the V looking symbols are the up strokes. Super important in bluegrass guitar, and especially for this lesson, is follow the pick direction. We're going to use down strokes on the down beats, up strokes on the up beats. It's really going to help us play the timing, not rush through parts or play other parts too slow. Super, super important. Okay, so again, we're doing that down up on 4 and. So that's how I do it with your second finger. The other way you could do it is if you were like in your D chord already, you could use your 3rd finger and then flip into it. Either way. So we're going to play 4 and then we're going to land our 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the high E string and play that as a quarter note. And then we're going to keep that finger down and go 2, 3, 2. Back to the open high E, and then 3 open on the 2nd string. 3rd fret, and then open. So we have. So a couple little things there, not too hard. One thing is, don't do this. So keep your first finger down. See how much faster I can do that than if I go like this, back and forth? You know, it's a subtle thing, but it's really going to slow you down. It's going to make a lot more work for you. Keep this finger down. Also notice how we're using 2 downstrokes at the beginning of that, because we're going 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So beat 1 is only a quarter note, so we want to make sure we don't rush through that. So we're using 2 downstrokes to intentionally slow ourselves down. So that's kind of cool. So not too hard. Let's put those together. We have one more time. And if you wanted like a little variation you could do on that, you could do either a 2-3 hammer-on or a 2-3 pull-off. So remember, a pull-off takes, or a hammer-on takes the place of a picked note. So if you go, I'll do it with all picking. So that's as written, but you could also add a hammer-on right here. So I'm taking out the place of that upstroke and substituting a hammer-on. Or the opposite would be substituting the upstroke and playing a pull-off. So those are little subtle things you can do to spice up your own the arrangement, make it your own. You know, hammer-on, slides, pull-offs, they're all kind of, I think of them as like extra credit. You know, you can add them, you can take them out. It's really up to you. If you want to add a whole bunch of hammer-ons and pull-offs, you're certainly welcome. If you want to take them all out, play with all picked notes, that's totally fine as well. Just remember, if you add a hammer-on, you have to take out a picked note, and vice versa. If you remove a hammer-on or a pull-off, you have to add back a picked note with your right hand. Okay, so one more time. And then measure 3, land your first finger of your left hand down on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then down to the 4th fret, 4th string with your, I'm going to use my 3rd finger. You could use your pinky if you had to, but I would recommend using your 3rd finger. And then a little run, open on the 4th string, 4th fret, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then 3rd fret, 2nd string. We're basically going up the notes of a D chord. It's called an arpeggio. You don't have to remember that, but basically we're playing the notes of a D chord. So again, we walk down and then we kind of walk back up those notes. So we have. I'd recommend keeping your hand kind of stretched out like this. It's, you know, if you're way back here, you're going to realize, okay, I have to get to that 4th fret, and you're not going to be there in time. So. That's good picking practice too. You're changing across the strings pretty quickly there. Then measure 4, take your 3rd finger, move it to the 4th fret of the 3rd string and play that note, and then open 3rd string twice. And I just like keeping my 2nd finger down there, so I go. I don't know why, I think that just makes it easier to stay in position when you do that. So you don't have to do that, but I'd recommend that. So you have. And then a little run, 4th fret on the 4th string. Open 3rd string, and then on the 3rd string do 2, 4, 2. So keep your 1st finger down. Back down to the 4th fret, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, open 2nd string, and then 3rd fret, open high E. So it's kind of like we're playing a little run, and then we're basically going back into our pickup. Because we're going to play that same opening melody line again. So we have. Let's just loop that part a few times. So we have. All down and up picking in measure 5. So you're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So one more time, here's those first 5 measures. And then measure 6 and 7 is the same as 2 and 3. So we go back into that opening melody line. Ending here, open 2nd string, and then open 3rd string, and then 3rd fret 2nd string. I'm going to use my 3rd finger. So we have down, down, up. So, and then 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and then down, up, 2nd fret, open, high, E, and then 3rd fret, slide your finger forward. And that's just like a little ending lick. So we have. Then we're going to play that 3 open again to go back into the opening melody line again. So measure 8, we're basically just playing like a quick G, A, D, and we're just kind of playing the open strings. That's just kind of like an abbreviated, easy way to play that melody. The other thing I like to doing is have a more quote-unquote notey version and then have like a simpler, more quarter note downstroke version. That can be really helpful because a song like this can be played at a lot of different speeds. You know, you might play like a really kind of relaxed, slow, pretty version of the song, or you might have a fiddle player that just like takes off and wants to play it super fast. So it's for songs like these, like Whiskey Before Breakfast is another good one, Red Hair Boy. You know, those songs can be played at a lot of different tempos. Someone, you know, a bluegrass band might play those super fast. An old time or Irish band might play them, you know, really slow and swingy. So it's good to have kind of a version you can play at a slower tempo and then a version you can play at a faster tempo. Because if you work up this super complex arrangement and then someone plays it really fast, you can be in trouble if you can't play everything as fast as you want. So, you know, if I was playing a slow version of the song, I would probably add more notes than if I was playing a fast version. Makes sense, right? Okay, so that's down through measure 9. Let's play that whole measures 1 through 9. That's the basic A part. Here we go. Really slow. Okay, so one more thing I'll say about this melody too, and a lot of fiddle tunes follow this form. I call it 1, 2, 1, 3, or A, B, A, C. So those are the phrases of the melody. So we have phrase 1 is. Now we have phrase 2, that's our response, a little response lick. Now we're back to phrase 1, so we play that exact same thing again. Now we have phrase 3, our little ending lick. So if you can remember that form, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, it's a lot less to remember because if you memorize that phrase 1, you have 50% of the A part already mastered. So that's huge, right? So it also helps you make sense of it in your mind where it's not all these random notes. The melody actually follows a form. So really try and pick up on that. A lot of songs use that form, especially fiddle tunes. I call it 1, 2, 1, 3, or A, B, A, C. So phrase 2 or measure 2 and 3 are the same as 6 and 7. Look at that in the tab. It's super important to remember that. Connect that in your mind. It's just going to make it so much easier to learn all these fiddle tunes. It's going to help you make sense of it, organize the information in your head, which is super important.